Midterm election just 4 days away. Candidates making their final pushes before those who still haven't voted head to the polls. Both Senate candidates, Sherry Beasley and Ted Budd, were in our area. Beasley in Salisbury, Budd in Mooresville. And these candidates, along with others, also working to get their message across to unaffiliated voters.
North Carolina now has more unaffiliated voters than those who are registered Democrat or Republican. WCNC Charlotte's Chloe Leshner shows us if those voters are really up for grabs.
Unaffiliated voters aren't necessarily unsure of which party they align with. A political analyst told me it has a lot more to do with the current political climate. Right now in North Carolina, there are more unaffiliated voters than Republican or Democrat. As North Carolina becomes more of a purple state, fewer people are publicly designating what party they support.
People are frustrated with the party system. They don't really want to feel like they have to, publicly choose one or the other.
North Carolina has a four-party system, including the Libertarian and Greene parties. State data shows of the 7.4 million registered voters, nearly 34% are registered Democratic, 30% Republican, and 35% as unaffiliated. And it's a growing population. 20 years ago in the 2002 midterm election, 16% of registered voters in North Carolina were unaffiliated.
I think it's nonetheless important to recognize that the vast majority of those unaffiliated voters have pretty strong partisan inclinations, and that whether somebody is registered as unaffiliated probably doesn't tell you very much about how they're going to vote.
Meaning the vast majority are not necessarily swing voters or moderates that can be won over by candidates. Heading into Election Day, all eyes will be on the North Carolina Senate race. Both Democratic candidate Sherry Beasley and Republican candidate Ted Budd are making a final push across the state.
This North Carolina Senate election exists within a larger United States political context right now. Which is shaping so much of it. And again, that context is things like inflation and people worried about the economy. And it's things like the Dobbs decision overturning Roe versus Wade. So we clearly see that reflected in the race that we have here.
A reminder that the last day to vote early is on Saturday in North Carolina. The polls will be open from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. In Charlotte, Chloe Leshner, WCNC Charlotte.